Istanbul is the best city to discuss about under the theme. The city of Istanbul started in BC long time ago, century, and grew as widely known with historical prosperity, as proved by changing our name of the city, starting from Byzantium, Constantinople, and now Istanbul. Today and tomorrow, we are discussing about the theme, namely urban growth and conservation in Eurasia, in this magnificent city. Looking back to the past and looking forward to the future, our world is now facing to a global crisis, which problem all of us have to share to solve, namely global warming, which causes natural disasters and changes in the natural features in widely different regions. Our ancestors have created so much wisdom and ideas of how to co-live in the severe natural conditions for the past hundreds of thousands of years in human being history. However, under names of modernization and international, those ancestral wisdom, as well as local cultures and traditions, have been being lost in the last century because of our relying on science, technology more than necessary. Science and technology, machinery, obviously have given us human beings a dramatic progress and a fast development, what we call convenience for our life. However, excessive relying on machinery, consumption of energy, have been increasing miraculously as a result increase to carbon dioxide unnecessarily and excessively. Looking at the present urban and architectural situation, we face to the same problem. After industrial revolution, urban city cannot function without machinery for instance, lifeline transportation and etc., while architectures cannot function without air-conditioned machine, for instance, and electricity and machines. And the building was built by steel and glass. It started from only one pencil sketch by maestro architect in the 20th century, Mies van der Rohe. It spread through the 20th century, covering homogeneously all over the world. I do not deny modernization and internationality nostalgically. It is our responsibility to recover only the earth. Through Euro-Asia belt, we can find so much ancestral wisdom which can be introduced and integrated with high technology. Our globe is now not only ours, but also our ancestors and also our descendants, as well as our friends, which are all the living things on the globe, animals, fish, insects, plantations, and so on. Here, we have many professionals ranging from East Asia through Central Asia to the edge of Asia, Istanbul, where there is very much rich culture and tradition with ancestral wisdom. All the suggestions and proposals, even including problematic issues, both in urban planning field and the architecture field from different regions, will be able to be shared and integrated. I believe that fruitful presentations and discussions must be done here. Those messages should be sent to the whole world and contribute to the future solution of urban growth and conservation. Speakers, please do not hesitate to talk boldly and ambitiously. Audience, please do not hesitate to ask any questions. I'm convinced that all the guests from foreign countries and all the audience will obtain something from this symposium here in Istanbul, May 2010, and bring them to their homeland. And I just show this is after Industry Revolution, the steels and Mies van der Rohe made universal architecture which spread to the world. And now on our globe, all the building in any region is the same style, by glass and steel. To maintain these kind of buildings, we need so much consumption of energy. And actually 1/3 of total energy of the world is by civil and architectural and the maintenance of the buildings. So the temperatures are going up, and we have facing a problem. So Mies van der Rohe is to blame for the global crisis. Vernacular. We have so much vernacular ideas in all the world. We have many friends today from many regions, so we can discuss about this kind of idea. This is my experience. I was working in Kentsel and I learned so much from all over the world, like Africa and Middle East and Mongolia and Asia and South America and so on. This is when I was young in Nigeria. This is a first one is myself, young one, and Kenzo Tange, my boss, and Miss Oscar Nima here. We are talking together. This is a vernacular Nigeria. Yeah, and this is just for show. Kenzo Tange and Sophia Loren, our client. Kenzo Tange was asked to design her house. And we have so many ideas in all over the world. So these ideas can be shared, like wind, light, water, earth. We have so many, our ancestral wisdom. But of course, we have to use high technology. This is my project, just a little bit. Thank you very much.
Honorable Chairman, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to deliver my keynote speech at the international forum. On urban growth and conservation of the Euro-Asian corridor. Sorry, I forgot to bring my spectacle, so just a moment. Okay, I have now. There are 7 topics on the international forum that to discuss. First, growth management of Silk Road cities. Second, to discuss dilemma of urban growth. The third topic is to discuss suburb and agrarian landscape. The fourth one is to discuss creativity and local government. The fifth item is related to community management and policy making. The sixth one is a heritage network beyond the border. And the last one, the seventh topic, is heritage management and cultural policies. So that there are so, I think, important topics, but to cover so many items. And so today, I'd like to focus on some specific issues related to urban growth and conservation in Euro-Asian corridors. First, issues related to urban growth management should be examined by the various types of cities, covering from the world cities, metropolis, regional capital, local capitals, and core cities. So that, as you know, that Silk Road cities just classified under these 5 categories, including, say, Istanbul as a kind of world cities, and Xi'an in China is a kind of a city of metropolises and regional capitals. And there are so many historic cities in the corridor regions. Some are large and others are rather small scale. But I must stress the importance that we should take care of that such historic cities by different population size and different industrial functions. So, in these connections, I would like to discuss that town planning chapter. The famous one was enacted by Xi'an Congress in Athens in 1933. At that time, Le Corbusier and other well-known urban planners and architects discussed and formulated town planning chapter for the future construction of new towns or metropolitan cities and so on. And but I must say, the town planning chapters of Xi'an contributed greatly for the urban constructions after the Second World War. But today we are facing new situations, quite different from the 1960s or 70s. And how to promote local government in relation to democracy and bureaucracy is quite important task for town planners and architects, and we should revise that old Siam town plan chapters to meet the present socio-economic situations. And today, for instance, in Japan, we observe that there are big issues between that democratic systems and bureaucratic systems that present Hatoyama government want to abolish that bureaucratic systems which governed Japan for almost last 60 years. And but it is a quite difficult task, and to get effective policy systems, it will take next 5 or 10 years. Therefore, we think that culture in the country should be preserved at the same time, and creative activities for new culture should be promoted. And regarding the democracies, it is quite important to strengthen the community activities. For instance, the community management in relation to urban growth and conservation is a crucial issues for policy making. The community is a basic unit for town planning building in the United States. Neighborhood unit has been used since 1928, proposed by Mr. Perry, and his theory has been widely adopted in town building activities in the developed countries, including Japan. And today, we should re-examine the Perry's neighborhood theory based on the prevailing social and economic situation today. Especially, it is important to examine the community activities in relation to conservation and utilization of cultural heritages. Therefore, new concept for community unit planning should be set up. Then we can develop the policy for the conservation of historic heritages much better. Regarding the cultural heritage in the Silk Road cities, a lot of historical buildings and sites were destroyed by both natural and man-made disasters in the past 1,000 years. However, today, there's a quite strong movement to conserve the historical building by not only the general public, but also by the national and local government residents. We recognize the great architecture representing cultural heritage of the country contribute greatly to upgrading the country's cultural level. Therefore, it is a big issue how to manage the cultural heritages by the public institutions, private corporations, and the general public. At the same time, the historic buildings are quite important element to attract the home and foreign people, especially in relation to the tourism industries. Conserving the excellent landscape formed by historic building is essential for nations. There are a lot of commercial incentives to get profit by utilizing the historic buildings. We observe in the historic cities modern hotels and souvenir shops are constructed adjacent to the historic site. Therefore, it is requested to make special zoning regulations to protect the excellent landscape of historic building. It is quite useful to set up heritage network for the Silk Road cities in order to get useful information regarding protection measures for excellent landscape of the cultural heritage. I hope that the International Policy Forum on Urban Growth and Conservation in Euro-Asian Corridor can provide effective proposal for the policy making to the Silk Road cities. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. It's my happy and great pleasure to chair this session, the first session, which is one of the most sessions in whole conference. And in this session, we will listen to some presentation from the 4 VIP, which will introduce some information about conservation theory and practice in Japan, China, Russia, Turkey, and in the Euro-Asia corridor. So I think from this presentation we can definitely get a lot of enlightenment, and we can enhance the communication and understanding for each country. So firstly, I would like to invite Professor Ibrahim Baz, the Chief Coordinator of the Istanbul Municipal Planning Commission. Please, Professor Baz.
Dear Chairman, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, as an Istanbuler and the head of the IMP organization, I would like to say welcome to you and hello to all of you. And let me also pass the message of the mayors of Istanbul Metropolitan Municipality. He has greetings and respect and success to the symposium and all the guests and attendants. Dear guests, I think it is the first time, at least in Istanbul, Eurasia's corridors, academicians, urbanists, and architects are coming together to discuss and share valuable experiences in their research and practical works. And also, first time this year, Turkish Year in Japan is being celebrated with a number of events, both in Japan and in Turkey. And this symposium is, in fact, is being organized and considered in this concept at the beginning. Therefore, I would like to start my words by thanking to the Institute of Architecture of Japan for promoting the symposium idea and for organizational support to the symposium. And also, my personal thanks also goes to Arkitera and the IMP, and also to Mr. Tatsuo Yamamoto for his great contributions and help. But of course, also my personal thanks goes to the management and the architectural faculty of the Bahçeşehir University for opening their facilities for this event. Dear guests, as the city and the people of Istanbul, this year we are also celebrating Istanbul's European Cultural Capital City project with a very busy agenda. Therefore, coincidentally but very nicely, both events came together. Dear guests, as the capital cities of three big empires in the history, Istanbul is one of the very important, unique and powerful cities in the world. And Istanbul is like an open-air museum, consists of numberless historical and cultural monuments. On the other hand, Istanbul, as a mosaic of colors, has been a peaceful and respectful living place and a mega city for people from different religions, different cultures for centuries. With its cultural assets, Istanbul undoubtedly is a very important address of Turkish and Islamic world and geography. However, due to the history and neighborhood relations, strong ties in the field of culture and art were also established between Istanbul and Europe. With this kind of structure and quality, Istanbul seems and remains as the most important intercultural cooperation and dialogue bridge, not only in the past and today, but in future too. Istanbul is known as Byzantium, Constantinopolis, Constantiniye, Istanbul, Der Saadet, Payitaht, Capital, and various names in the past. The age or history of Istanbul reaches to Neolithic ages. Archaeological evidences obtained from the excavation works in Istanbul's and Turkey's first undersea tunnel crossing project, Marmaray, and the Yenikapı metro station project, and evidences from archaeological research studies in Yarımburgaz Inns in Küçükçekmece region in Istanbul, indicates that Istanbul's age goes to the ages beyond 8,500 BC. Dear guests, not only the historical and cultural heritage richnesses, Istanbul with its physical geography, population, economy, and the urban developments too, also takes place among most important metropolitan cities in the world. To be able to understand Istanbul and urbanism and urban developments in Istanbul, it is useful to know or remember some statistical values for Istanbul. Let me count these as, first of all, Istanbul is an exact metropole and a mega city. Istanbul's border covers around 5,500 square kilometers. 1/3 of this area is covered by forest, 1/3 of the area is covered by agricultural areas, water resources and basins, and the remaining parts are covered or left for settlement and development areas. With its size, Istanbul is bigger than many member countries of the EU. Istanbul's population is around 13 million. 60,000 or 7,000 people per square meter population density is seen in some central districts of Istanbul. Istanbul's population is increasing around 350,000 people a year. Some part of this comes from the immigration. With its yearly income, Istanbul's economy is bigger than 127 countries in the world. 40% of Turkey's import and export is being carried out in Istanbul. With the extraordinary, rich and living cultural heritage examples of Ottoman, Byzantine and Roman eras, Istanbul is one of the most important cultural cities and centers in the world. Number of tourists visiting Istanbul reach to 6 million a year. Targeted number is around 10 million. Of course, and unfortunately, Istanbul is under threat of a big earthquake. Dear guests, as you can see, Istanbul is too big and too complex to deal with. The IMP organization, that means Istanbul Metropolitan Planning and Urban Design, within the municipality was therefore established. As the IMP, we studied and completed 1 to 100,000 scale Istanbul Metropolitan Areas Environmental Zone Plan, which consists of land use decisions. And also, we studied 1 to 25,000 physical master plan proposal for the municipality too. Meantime, in parallel with planning studies, we also developed some urban design and regeneration projects. National and international leveled project competitions were also organized and carried out for these purposes. As the IMP and its Cultural Heritage Management and Study Group, we also carried out a number of cultural heritage documentation, restoration projects in Istanbul, in Mardin, in Bosnia, in Sudan, based on point clouds data sets obtained with 3D laser scanning technologies. As the IMP, we also carried out some preservation master plans, and meantime, we have been studying the site management plan for the historical peninsula in Istanbul. The IMP is not only a serving body for serving as a project group or organization, it's also giving great support to the municipality directories, to Istanbul 2010 European Cultural Capital City Agency, the universities, not only in Turkey, but also from overseas too, and many other public departments, civil associations, and of course the consultancy we are giving to them. In following sessions, more detailed presentation is going to be given and made by my colleague, Mr. Sönmez. Dear guests, we as the IMP and Istanbul Metropolitan Municipality are very pleased to be part of this organization and this symposium, and very glad and honored hosting you here in Istanbul. I hope all attendants, at most the IMP and the Istanbul Metropolitan Municipality members, will benefit and derive some fruitful conclusions from the presentations. I also hope that this symposium, as the first, plays an important role for transforming this organization to a regularly organized international one. Dear guests, first of all, I would like to thank the organizing committee for their hard work, and I also thank all for you coming here and taking part here. I hope all of you enjoy not only the symposium, but your staying in Istanbul too. As some says, everything is beautiful about Istanbul, but most beautiful thing is it is returning back to Istanbul. Hope to see you again. Best wishes, and thank you very much.
Thank Professor Lebas. I think that Istanbul, as the ancient capital of the Rome and Ottoman Empire, and also as well as the present current economic center of Turkey republics, I think it has perfectly combined the historic heritage with the modern life, combined the natural environment with the artificial cityscape. So I think the experience of Istanbul can give much ideas and enlightenment to the many countries, especially including my motherland, China. So thank Professor Ibrahim Baz for introducing so much about the general background and the current situation about Istanbul. So thank you very much. And then Professor Lichimiak is the founder of the international conference about historic cities in Eastern and Central Asia. And for many decades years, he had ever studied and worked in many countries, including Japan, France, China, and etc. So I think he just like a bridge which have played an important role to the promote communication, mutual communication for the different countries in the academic society. So I think he has also a lot of thoughts and ideas about how to give good ideas for the conservation theory in a different country and especially in the Euro-Asia corridor. So welcome, Professor Chimiak.